Right guys, so I've got a Niken, Yamaha Niken here. So just a service and chain kit, that's what we're going to do today. So pretty straightforward. So I'm going to start by draining the oil. That's the oil filter off. Drain bolt. So I've got to get all this off as well. Everything needs a bit of a lube really, because it's all, look at that, sticky. So 5 and 6 mil Allen key. There we go. Not sure if it's a lock or not. I think it is a lock and nut, so that might be a bit difficult to get off. Right, so it's a 30mm, and I'm going to try and break it with the breaker bar first. That's going to be quite tight, this one. Must have gone in gear when I took that thing off. Oh, that's going to be fun. Let's get that off. Wow. It's quite a powerful impact gun in the van. Oh man, I'm pulling my back really hard there. Oh my god, that's a lot of force. Get the chain off, put a new sprocket on the back, and then I can ride the bike up to the van and then use the impact gun up there. It's only a little impact gun, so you might not have the power to take it off. That's enough oil. Roughly 2.4 litres goes in. So I've got a plan for this nut. So I've got myself a bit of pipe here, which is going to make my breaker bar fairly longer. This breaker bar's seen some action, and it's actually a little bit bent as well, so I need to get this pipe on here, hold the brake down, which I think is a little bit sticky because it's not releasing very well. Get this pipe on here, just get as much leverage as you can without smashing your breaker bar. I mean, that's quite tight, isn't it guys? I mean, I've got all my weight on that right now. And it's not shifting it, so we're going to have to go to the van and impact it off. I'll try to. Could do, but I don't really want to do it now. I don't have much hope for this coming off, to be honest, but we'll see. Right, just make sure it's on full power. Right. Wasn't even that tight. Oh well. Oh, that's good. The wheel isn't, the axle isn't stuck. That's good. You can just slightly lift it, get the wheel out. Pop you in there as well. Quite a big old sprocket on these. Okay, last one on. The wheel spacer went flying, so I'll just clean that up, re-lube it. It is getting everything lined up. Brake pads, spacers, make sure everything's there, ABS sensor, watch out for everything basically, and then get ready with your axle. Just give that a quick clean, some lube on it, get that ready. Where are we? I think that's it now. Yeah. Everything's good. So with chains, I usually put the adjuster bolts in maybe about 2 turns, something like that. Well, I've got this DID chain tool. Looks great. First stage is pressing the pin out. Once you get past the first plate or two, usually goes a bit easier. Just putting the front sprocket on first. Just clean this end off and this end off. Might be enough. You can do it on the sprocket, of course. Maybe I should do that just to make it easier for myself, but anyway, I've got it on now. So you get that O-ring on. Good quality chain. This is the tricky part as well. So you put the plate on, you put your pressing plate in, and then you have to turn the pin around, and then that will press the pin on equally if you've got it in the right setting. So there's an A and a B setting, and you use B for the actual pins and A for everything else. Basically A is lining up this with the hole at the back, so you can push the pin out, and then B lines up the pin from the centre. So you push it on until it stops, and that's all you need to do for that part of it. Take it off, take your pushing plate away, and then move to B and do the pins. Now, in theory, this tool will bottom out once it hits the backing plate. So there's nowhere else for it to go, but by that point you've probably mushed the pin over quite a lot, so don't go crazy with it really, because it's a press fit anyway, and when you push on that pin, the amount it expands by makes it impossible for it to come off naturally. Like, you're never going to get rid of that press fit because the pin doesn't move. So I barely get like one full turn on that dome part of the tool, which rivets it. And there is a measurement that you can do on the pin, but I just generally look for like the centre part, a nice finish like that. So it's almost like half the thickness of the pin has been sort of like forced in. Next stage is just to adjust the chain really. So obviously you would want the weight of the bike on the wheel to adjust it properly, but just for now I'm going to get it more or less where it needs to be. Because it's a new chain, you don't have to rotate the wheel to check, and sometimes they'll actually write on what they should be, but 25 to 45 mil is a good standard, I think, for most bikes. So I've adjusted the chain, tightened up the axle, that's all good. Next one, the front sprocket has, you know, a little lip that you have to squash into a slot in here, so I'm just going to use that one to judge where it was before. The one that was obviously on before should line up with one of the slots. So there's the mark, and the slot, when it tightens up completely. So the mark is about here, and that slot's there, so it's got to rotate a quarter of a turn. So let's see if I can do it with this 14-volt impact gun. So I've got about an eighth of a turn left, so I'll just give it a little bit more. Hold the wheel. It's pretty much next door to the, so it's about there, so not far to go. If I put something on that, I might have been able to get that fully tight with that impact, but you know, some liquid oil. So I'll just see if I can tighten that up. I don't really want to press on the back brake, to be honest, because I don't want to seize up the back brake again. So I suppose with this bike, with it having two front wheels, you could put it in first gear and it probably would, you know, hold that. Anyway, see if I can tighten it without. I'm gonna have to do something, aren't I? I'll have to put the back brake on and deal with it later. Like that. The pivot on the Jesus, I can't move that, believe it or not. So it barely moved. So the back brake is seized up now, so I'm pressing on the tyre there. Nothing's happening, so I'm just going to back the back brake off. So let's just check. So yeah, in theory that could be a bit tighter really. So yeah, with this rear brake, it's all bad. That all needs a good clean out. But that's about all I can do today. I'm gonna have to try and work some magic with that brake cleaner, but I'll catch up to you on the next one. Got a few jobs for the rest of the day, so I'd love to spend all day cleaning this bike and making it all ready, but just don't have the time, unfortunately. Normally I would take all this apart, re-grease it, but I'm just going to have to rebook it in because it's just getting to the state where I won't have time to do any of the jobs today. So that's it for today anyway.